Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Here to you from Ohio. That was hard to spit out. But anyway, I'm here to bring you your Simply Saturday video, number 59, I do believe. And it's going to be a quickie. It's easy. Of course, that's what I gear them all for. But this one is really pretty easy. But we'll make two. Anyway, I just want to tell you, Stampin' Up! Tuesday, the new mini catalog will be live for everybody to see online. The January online exclusives, the same way. You'll be able to see all that. That'll be great. There's a lot of good stuff. In fact, I am using a embossing folder from, and I can't remember if it's a new catalog. I keep thinking I want to look and I keep forgetting. But I'm using a new embossing folder. I think it's from the online catalog, but no, from the mini catalog. But anyway, we're going to be using that today, and then an older stamp set and some jewels, different things, same as always, a little bit of bling and a little bit of ink and a little bit of paper, and there you go. So we are not using any DSP today. I mean, that's quite unusual for me, is to not use any DSP. But anyway, all that new stuff's going to be out Tuesday. Be ready for you to order if you want to. Remember that bonus days will be starting. For every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon that will be emailed to you. Save those emails. And then you will be able to use them. I think the sale goes through February, the 1st of February. Anyway, it's a while, and then you'll be able to use your bonus coupons after that. And you can accumulate them, it's for every $50 that you spend. So, in that time period, it's like a month to a month and a half, and you can accumulate them and then use them all at one time, to do you an order or whatever. So it's a great deal. And you can be able to take advantage of that. Now, you will earn your Stampin' Rewards even though you're earning bonus days. Now, when you go to use your coupons, say your order is $100 and you have $20 in bonus coupons, your Stampin' Rewards will be based on after the coupon. So it'd be like for an $80 order, not a $100 order, because you're already using a discount on that. Okay? Just want to make sure and clear all that up so that you know that with any surprises coming. I have my in-person class out. My first one, well, it's kind of late. It's Monday and Tuesday. January 15th, I'm going to be having a class at Chiaroscope Counseling Services in Westchester. I am going to be using their conference room. So I have a class that's going to be there on the 15th. On the 24th, I'm going to be hosting an event at my church for Stampin' Up. It's going to be Experience a Blind Date with a Kit. It's going to be fun. And what you get, it's $30 to come. You get to pick out a kit, whether you want a crafting kit, which is non-stamping, or a stamping kit. You won't know what's in the kit because it's all wrapped nice and pretty. And in fact, I'll show you how it's wrapped. I wrapped one for my, just to see. So here is my blind date with a kit. And this one says crafting kit, so there is no stamping on this one. And then this is a little gift you'll get. Everybody will have something in the little pocket here, and then that's just decorated. But that is how it's going to come. You will get a light lunch because the event's from 11 to 2. You'll get a light lunch. We will be playing a game or so, maybe even 2, just depends, and trying to do some more fun things in with that time as you do your kits, okay? So I just want to let you know about that. It sounds like a really fun idea. I have my in-person classes for February and March already set up. If you are not on my mailing list, please send me your email address. You can leave it in the comments. you can email me, whatever. And I do not have a pop-up right now to just get on my mailing list. So if you can do that, and I'll put you on the mailing list if you would like to know what's going on in my little life of Stampin' Up. So, okay, let's turn the camera down. When I hit this button, you guys usually see my monitor. You're now going to see a small monitor. See how little it is? That's because I gave my big monitor to my husband because I got him a laser engraver for Christmas, and he needs that to engrave with. So he can see the words on the screen. You know, it's kind of bad. I mean, the letters for that program are so little because it's got so much on it. So I would need the monitor too, so I shouldn't make fun, really. Okay, now I got this set up to where I can see the video and be able to make sure that I'm seeing this card as you see it. As you can see, I now have a mat that goes over my glass mat, so you don't have the glare of that light hitting it like it did before. Here's my card, and what I did, this is one of the new embossing folders. It's called Stone, something Stone. Let me get the paper. Should have brought it over there with me, and I forgot to. So it's right here in a big mess of stuff. Isn't that where everything is, in a big mess of stuff? It's called Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. So here's the picture of it from Stampin' Up. Is this, and this is what it looks like. It's got a lot of like ivy vines, and then there's stones in there. Now this wasn't supposed to be as green as it is. I had put some gray and some browns in there, and you can't see them, so now I'm gonna have to make that just a little bit darker. But that's all right, that's why we're gonna do 2 more cards. But anyway, just want to show you that, and then I just went ahead and embossed a small piece in the bottom of the card so that you could see that. Okay, and then these little jewels are, they're jewels that we have had out. They're these right here, the shades of green hexagons, and the lightest shade is called Soft Seafoam, which is the color of this paper right here, and that's what I used. So, okay, let's move that to the side. We're going to bring in the papers that we're going to use, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. I'm going to do one in the colors of Mossy Meadow for my card with Soft Seafoam, and then there'll be white for the outside, white for the inside. The other one I'm going to do in gray with Mossy Meadow and then the whites. So right now, all we need are 2 pieces of white. So we're going to move this out of our way. And these are measured 5 by 3 3/4. So what I did with this was I cut me out a template. Now this is the largest circle of the stylish shapes, and it fits just fine on here. So I'm going to color one, and then I'm going to color the other. Okay, and as you can see, I'm actually going to move this over here, and then I'll do the other one. So I'm just going to put that down, and I got tape there so that the tape kind of holds that, and that's why I want this little white edge up here. It holds that better. I'm using Crumb Cake again, Smoky Slate, and Mossy Meadow. So first I'm going to take the Crumb Cake, and let me make sure I got the right brush. I do. So I'm just going to ink that up, and here's my piece of scrap paper, and I'm just going to get the bulk of that ink off of there. And I want to get this really dark in spots. So I really probably shouldn't even. The crumb cake is so light, that's why I'm going to put that on there pretty dark. But I don't want a blotchy spot. So there we go. We have some. I know it probably still looks light to you, but it is getting dark on there. Okay, now we're going to bring in the, I'm going to shut this one just so I don't get in it, and I'll open it back up when I do the next one. Now I'm going to do the gray, and the gray will be darker. And what I want is I want some of that, so the stone will show, some of the gray will show through this for the stone. So, and I know it looks like a dirty mess right now, but that's okay. Dirty messes are fine. Whoops. I might have just messed up. No, it looks fine. Sometimes you have to lift up an edge to see what you have there. So now we have some dark gray. Now we're going to take this Mossy Meadow, and I know you're saying that's really dark, and it is. So I'm just going to pounce that, and then I'm going to pounce that off on here because it is dark. And then I am just going to add me some green. But I'm not going to add green all over because I want some of that gray in that to show on that. So we'll just put some green like through there. Okay, we're going to take this one off. And there is our piece. Can you see that? It doesn't look bad. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the other one in. And we're going to reverse how we put this on and see how that works. Does that make sense? We're going to use the green first. Haven't done this yet, but we're going to do that. So now the green's going to show up really dark in here. And when I reverse this, I think our colors are going to show more vibrant, where that is more muted. Okay, there we go. Now we've got some green in there. And we'll take our gray. And I always say start with your lightest and go to your darkest. And what are we doing? We are doing the exact opposite. Let me get that. I always try to clean all the stuff out of my brush when I can. Okay, we got the gray. So we're going to stamp some gray off of there, and we're going to so there we go with that. Now let's go with the beige. See how much you see the green in that in this one? It's not, we're not as muted. We're lighter, but we're not as muted. Table's making noise. It's my little thing I got sitting up there. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to have some, let me get this light spot right in there. Okay. Now let's see what we have here. That's pretty too. Okay. Now I'm going to set this to the side. I don't want to get all my stuff in. We are going to bring in the stamp and cut and emboss machine. Did you see all the hair that is on my, that's my cat hair. Daggone cat. Daggone. I have to take something and get that off of there. She's at the point I shouldn't let her on my table right now. She is shedding so bad. Shedding bad. Okay, now we're going to take the stamp and cut and emboss machine and we're going to emboss these. And you can see I got stuff on that one. My stencil was getting dirty, but that's okay. Once we get it, you won't notice it is bad once we get that done. And I think we're going to be too close. I'm going to have to move us up a little bit. There we go. Okay, we're using a 3D embossing folder, so I got our number 1 plate and our number 4 plate. So my black line is here, and you want to line up, well, you don't have to line up with the black line, but have it at the top. And that way you know that your embossing is going to be up, because that's the side that it is on. The other side is the deboss side. So you're just going to bring this in. Let's try not to make a big pop. So look how pretty that looks. Isn't that pretty? Let's do this one now. And there again, I basically do line it up with my line. You don't have to. I don't know. Really, it's not going to make a difference with the vines and stuff. Put that in there, and here we go. And we rock the table and everything. Okay, let's move this out of the way. We're done embossing. So here is our 2 pieces. And you can see where I got more of the brown and the grays in here. There's some lighter gray and brown in that one. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get 2 to look alike. That's what makes it unique. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 sets of cards. And this is 5.5, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, like we always, or not always, but 99% of the time that's what we do. Same with our gray one. That's Mossy Meadow. This is Smoky Slate. So let's move that up a little bit. This is a silicone mat. I got them from Amazon, and they are really nice because I can get the glue on there and just wipe it off or whatever. And I love my glass mat for that, but I was tired of that glare. So here we go. So this one that's got some of this gray up in here, I think I'm going to put that on that gray there with the Mossy Meadow behind it. Brings out the greens and the grays. And this one, I think we'll do the, even though there's no soft sea foam in there, I really like that soft sea foam behind it. But you know what I think I might like behind it? Let's try it as crumb cake. Let me get a crumb cake piece out and cut it down to that size. We might like that. So that is, the white is 5 by 3 3/4, and the matte is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that for that one, since I have a lot of that brown showing. That'll be pretty. Or do I want to flip these? Let's see. Let's see what we want to do. Too many choices now. Yep, I want them flipped. I like them flipped. So now what I'm going to do is just finish them off. We're going to put glue on my fingers. Let's bring this back down and you'll be able to see it a little bit better too. Just moving you guys up and down. It's too close if you're using an embossing machine. It's too far away if you're just stamping. So did everybody have a good New Year's? I hope so. Our New Year's was actually, our New Year's Eve was quiet. New Year's Day, on the other hand, my family comes over. I fix a big dinner. And we played the craziest game called Slapsy is what it's called. Slapsy. I had to think of it. It was pretty funny. We were kind of noisy. But we had a good time, and they like to play with me because I told them I just bring entertainment. I don't care if I win. I just like to have fun. And of course, they sit me at the end of the table, and I'm so short and stuff that I had to stand up to play the game because I couldn't reach the center of the table. Maybe I should have told them that's why I always lost, because they sit me too far away. But we had so much fun. I love to play games with the kids. Well, it's actually the girls, my 2 daughter-in-laws, my 2 granddaughters, and then my grandson's girlfriend. And then my youngest grandson, that is 11, he played with us too. Everybody else was just like, we don't need to do that. Okay, so these are going to go on the cards. We are going to turn them over, and we're going to use dimensionals to kind of raise it off of the card. So, what did you guys do for New Year's and New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve was just quiet. It was just Floyd and I, and I actually worked on cards for a good while, and then we Floyd was in bed at probably 10 o'clock. Bless his heart. He's like a little baby. He can't stay up. He needs his beauty sleep. I'm cutting this all the way around because I'm just going to use it up. Just going to use it up. There we go. I like to go ahead and get it cut up when I'm going to be using it. A lot. There we go. But then I cook all day on New Year's Day. I love to cook when I'm having company. When it's just me and Floyd, I hate to cook for 2 people. That's not fun. Let's make sure I got my card opening the right way, because I have been known not to do that. Okay, now what we're going to do is, I forgot, I'm going to get the embossing machine one more time, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to emboss the inside of that card, so that if you haven't seen that done, you'll be able to do that. So let me move these out of the way just for 1 second. And we have our 2 pieces, and I'm actually going to do those together. bring this little guy back in, and I have to use the big one because the little one is not wide enough. So let's bring this in. Let's move that camera back up. That looks awfully close. I'm going to take both of these sheets, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them in the embossing folder. And try to get it even, what I want. And then I'm going to slide it in here, and I probably should have waited to do that. Then I'm going to put that over it and hope that that white didn't move. So you notice I just put a piece of it in there. And I'm just going to do this till I hear it click. And then I'll just pull it out. I didn't want to roll it over the top of just the plain paper because that would leave a line. And that way you can just emboss a little piece of your paper. Just decided it must stay. And then I have both of them done. There they are. So let's put those inside our card real quick. And that just brings in a little bit of the outside to the inside. Gives a little decoration to the inside of the piece of paper that you can write on. And I'm doing these as thinking of you cards. And the reason why I'm using different colored cardstocks is because I just wanted to show you what it looked like to use same colors of inks, but different cardstock, the bases and stuff. And that way, because if you look, all three of them are different. Now let's bring our stamp in. I have just a piece of just a scrap piece of cardstock here. And what I'm going to do is, I think for this one, I'm going to stamp it in Smoky Slate. It might have a little bit of green in it because, I'd say it definitely had some green. Because I didn't clean my stamp. Here, let's clean it, and I'll do a Smoky Slate. Let's see what Smoky Slate looks like now. There we go. So we have a green one, and we have a gray one. Then what I'm going to do is take my scissors and just cut an angle. The green one will go on that one. The gray one on that one. And I still have a piece of scrap left. I have so much of that scrap, but that's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop these up. So let's just that's really, that one's not angled as much as the other one. I'm going to angle that a little bit more. There we go. Looks a little better. Looks a little better. Okay, now we're ready to just finish this off real quick. Put the green one over here. And I'm going to put the gray one up a little higher. And then I'm going to take my little linen thread. I'm going to straighten it. I'm going to make a bow. And I'm just going to make a bow almost. And I'm just going to there we go for one. Then we'll make another. And you see how curly that is? I'm just going to take and get that curl out. I'm going to bring my camera back down because I just noticed that there we go. Up and down. Make my next bow. Trying to get that not to curl. Dang. Daggone. Make my loops a little smaller. There we go. I'll trim that. Okay. Then I'm going to just take a glue dot. I'm going to put that on there and roll it on the back. Doing it the lazy way today. Lazy way today. Stick that on there. And then we'll do the next one. Just roll that behind that little knot. And I'm just sticking that on the corner of the white. So there we go with that. And now I'll take some jewels. And I tell you what I think I'm going to do is I'm not going to use these because I don't really have any of that seafoam one there. I think I'm going to use I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm going to find me something. Can't find what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm looking for. As soon as I can get this one open, I'm going to take these craft colored ones and I'm going to use on this one. And then I will take these with the dark green in them, and they're sparkly. So we have one of every kind on here. That's okay too. I think I'll put the big one down there this time. So I put them all on the same way, but there they are. 3 different colored cards, same color of inks, just depends on how you apply it, on what it looks like. And that, so very simple card and fun because you get to blend the inks. Now you can do this with any embossing folders. It doesn't have to be the vine one. You can use flowers, you can use anything. And I'm going to tell you what, come back for my Tuesday video, which I do Facebook Live, and then I'll get a YouTube video up also of it. But I'm going to use this technique. I'm going to do the same technique here, and I'm going to step up the card some. So if you'd like to see that done, come back Tuesday at 10 o'clock. If you have Facebook, you come back and get on my Facebook page, Stamp Crazy by Rita Holmes, or you can get on my group, Stamp Crazy VIP, because I share it to that, so you can see it both places. But you can see this card done, stepped up a little bit. And I'm not real sure that I'm going to use the same embossing folder. We'll see. But it's going to be the same technique. So that is my card for today. I hope you guys have a great weekend and be safe in whatever you do. I have a lot of stuff to do. I got a visitation to go to today. We're undecorating the church, and then I just have a lot of stuff to catch up on, and I still got to get a few little things ready for my class for Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to be busy and hopefully just staying in once we get our running done. And that. So you all be safe, be creative when you can, and don't hesitate to share with me what you've made, okay? Thanks everybody, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.